Hello everyone, my name is Mick, and we got some great news today. Turns out that the US Senate might be after loot boxes. There's a great possibility because both parties, or almost everyone, is in favor of this. And if this happens, we won't have to pay for in-game transactions. Now, how will companies sort of react to this, or how will they cope with this? We really don't know. But this could be great because this means that we won't have to pay for that certain item we want, or we just have to pay so much money. I mean, there's reports of people who spend thousands of dollars on loot boxes and they still don't get the item that they want. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, loot boxes are these in-game transaction items that you can get with a chance, a very slim chance of getting the item you want. It's really hard to get the item. In fact, like some gaming stores won't even allow you to buy that item directly. And this is kind of the main source of, like, let's say Fortnite or Apex Legends way of making money. But it's really great because first it was Belgium that declared loot boxes illegal because it turns out it's gambling essentially. And it's a really great argument because this means, like, games like Fortnite, kids won't actually be exposed to this. And it's not ethical, or it's not really good to really do loot boxes anyways, because this is sort of, let's say you're buying Overwatch. You paid $60, but yet you still can't get the items that you want. That's a bit ridiculous when you think about it. But according to Kotaku Jason Schreier, which I'll have a link below just in case you want to check it out, the new bill aims to tackle the problem of predatory loot boxes and pay-to-win microtransactions in video games. Introduced by Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri, the Protecting Children from Abusive Game Act would ban the inclusion of these mechanics in video games aimed at or played by minors, everyone under the age of 18. Now, this makes sense because in real life, gambling is either 18 or 21, and this is really no different, especially when it comes to CSGO, Counter-Strike, for anyone who doesn't know. And I think this will help us in the long run in terms of consumers, because this means we won't have to be spending so much money. We will actually get the items we want. Now, this is going to be very interesting to see how companies will react, because this means their major sum of money will be gone. So hopefully they'll find another way, some interesting way to sort of figure this out that's both beneficial to consumers and the company maybe. But overall, I mean, this is going to be great if this is passed. This means, again, we won't have to pay for the items that we want. And this is a great chance of it happening too. It turns out that this is a bipartisan support, and it could categorically shift how today's top platforms and distribution platforms monetize the titles they sell. The bill's introduction was first reported by The Verge. This is, of course, according to the TechCrunch site. And this is really awesome. Again, this means we won't have to, do in-game transactions. We're not sucked in for money. But the great argument is that this is bad for minors, and we don't want them doing this shit so much to the point where they're out of money when they could be using that money for something else. Now, this also does mean that if the bill is passed, studios could be fined. So they will be, there will be consequences if they don't follow through. And this is really interesting to see, but the problem is what if a company's like headquarters is actually in another country, So this is going to be very interesting, because there might be a lot of loopholes that the companies will probably try to do. But yeah, this is awesome. This turns out that probably in a year now when it gets passed, that we won't have to pay for loot boxes. This is going to be an interesting world. And in my opinion, I think this is great, because if you pay for a game that's $60, you should be getting that game. You shouldn't have to pay more. And honestly, if it's going to be more, just tell us, put that in the actual game's price, because in a way, this is sort of false advertising. You're saying that we'll have the full game experience, yet that's not true. You're telling us we have to pay for loot boxes or loot crates, for example, Overwatch. Now, of course, they're just skins, but some people might want to play that. And the fact that you don't have a direct way of paying for a certain item is just very sketchy, because it's like, well, what are the percentages of getting this certain item? And in fact, I think there are some games that have reported that they actually rig these loot boxes, that some people won't even really get the items they want, or it'll take $2,000. And I think that this will tell game companies that you have to follow the rules. You actually have to do this, instead of just, lying to consumers, which, they do all the time, but I know it makes sense because they want to make money, but at the same time, you're a corporation. How much money do you need? you know. And I think once they go public, that really kind of screws them over when you think about it. You know, all these companies, it seems they sort of changed their ideas when they became a public traded company. You know, when they're on the stock market, anyone or when the shareholders take control. That's really what goes down, unfortunately, these days with game companies, is the shareholders take control of everything and they want money, money, money. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Just a little update for today. I'll probably go back to some Let's Plays, probably around Monday or Wednesday. These videos are a bit extra, just want to let you guys know. But if you guys do like this video, feel free to give it a like, maybe even subscribe with notifications on, because it seems YouTube's really wonky when it comes to that. But yeah, this is great. This turns out that if it becomes legalized as an actual law, that we won't have to pay for loot boxes. This will make it so we will actually get the full game experience, which is really cool. So anyways, my name is Mick Nik, and again, I'll have some links in the description for social media if you want to check that out. We got a Discord, and again, thank you so much, and I will see you guys on Monday.